welcome our keynote speakers, Yoshihiro Kawai, Chair of OECD Insurance and Private Pension Committee, IPPC, Chairman of Global Asia Insurance Partnership, GAIP, Advisor to Commissioner, Financial Services Agency, Government of Japan.
So good afternoon, everybody. After this, magic, it's very difficult to speak out. So what I'm going to do today is just maybe before kicking off, just to please allow me to tell a little bit of my story. I came back to Asia 4.5 years ago. And this is my first time in my life to come to Bali or Indonesia. But in the end, I feel so happy and so, feel at home. I don't know why, but you guys are smiling and very warm-hearted and very welcome. And definitely, this is my place, not only your place, but my place and everybody's place. 28 years, I lived in Europe. And this morning, Jonathan presented IAIS. I was IAIS for 15 years as Jonathan's position. And now I came back to Japan, and I chaired OECD. OECD is a development countries rich man's club, so-called. And we have a think tank. But those 28 years, I always feel something. Something is not correct. Something misfocused. When I come back to Asia, I feel something. IAIS, International Association of Insurance Supervisors, get together every few months and discuss together global rules of the game. But always keep players are not Asian, or very limited Asian participation. OECD, again, we have very limited number of Asian. But when we see here, this morning, Buddy mentioned that here we have a huge possibility. And actually, Asia is the biggest market in the world. And it will be even bigger in the future. And Indonesia is a symbol of Asia. Huge potential. Future is here, Indonesia and Asia. So, of course, today I represent OECD, but also my colleague, insurance regulators, industry, companies, many of your companies, today's partnership is joining this initiative, and academia, we created new forum, Global Asia Insurance Partnership, GIP. And this afternoon, or after this session, Conor Donaldson, CEO, will explain more in the session. But anyway, Asia is our area, and Asia is the future. And GIP, also I'm chairing, is also future. So definitely this GIP is a partnership with industry, regulators, and academia, and OJECA is surely will join soon, and Asian regulators, we create something together from Asia to the world. This is my heart, and this is I want to do in my life. So what this morning we have discussed, protection gap. Protection gap means opportunities. There is a huge loss, economical loss, because of climate change, because of pandemic, or because of cybers, or whatever, and this risk, amount of the economic loss is increasing drastically. But at the same time, the coverage by insurance is not growing so fast. So the gap is big, and we should address it. But question is how? How we should address it? that we have discussed this morning. So I will present one possible solution, which also we discussed in the morning. I wonder, I should just put the slides. How can I advance the slides? Could you put it the next page? Yeah, so one issue is how do we address this protection gap? How we cover this gap? And digital technology, DX, is a solution. Is a solution, one possible solution. Everybody knows, we discussed. So what I'm going to do today is briefly summarize how this digital transformation can be improved our insurance market. And in the end, I will explain particularly health part, how this digital transformation improve this market or our business. For around 10 years, this digital transformation has a huge boom or changed the world. And there are three reasons. One reason is naturally amount of the data, not only amount, but quality of the data. And not only quality amount, but also relevance of the data is huge. For example, Earth observation data, satellite take the world at glance and take a data immediately. And this technology changed our business drastically. One example. And also wearable. People wear some, wear and collect our physical data and so on. That's changed also drastically our business. So amount, quality, and relevance of the data has drastically changed. It's improved and drastically increased. And also, not only the amount, but amount of or quality and relevance, but also technology to analyze the data, capacity of the data is huge. Artificial intelligence is not analyzing in the past, but even predict the future. So this technology analyzing the data is hugely improved. And third, not only data quality and also analytical skill, but interaction. Like everybody has mobile phone, and thanks to this mobile or thanks to this smartphone, we have an interaction immediately from those data created things connected to individuals or even companies. So this has changed the world drastically. And what has changed? Question is, what has changed in our business, insurance? First, we can assess the risk more accurately. We can assess the risk, individual risk, more accurately because of data quality analysis. And also, we can reduce the risk because we can interact with people and people can change the behavior. And one element that, as I said, now this protection gap can be addressed by this technological innovation is this reduction of the cost. This chart, as you can see, left side is traditional cost. Of course, insurance, when we sell insurance, we have to underwrite, we have to market the insurance, we have to assess the claims and so on. All are now traditionally, it's this left side, it's quite considerable amount. And of course, payout, the claims itself is a main part of our payment. But now, thanks to this innovation, technological innovation, first of all, for example, underwriting cost is much reduced because we can get data much easily and calculate and so on. And also marketing, sales cost, because of online and so on, it's much reduced. And assessment or claim settlement is much, much faster and also cost effective. So this right side demonstrates that there is a huge premium saving. And the reason of protection gap, one of the reasons, maybe the most important reason of protection gap is affordability, meaning it's expensive. It's so expensive that people cannot afford to buy insurance. But this technological innovation is a chance opportunity, and we have to seize it. And one thing that I would like to stress is this reduction of the risk. As I said, we can get immediately Earth observation data at glance, and also we can collect huge amount of people's data at once. And this is not only helpful to assess the risk, but also reduce the risk, and particularly prevent the risk. And this is definitely a huge change of our industry. So this reduce the risk is after, for example, wearable people can get, companies get information and give a feedback to individuals. And people's attitude has been changed, for example. Or, for example, automobile collect the driving record, and this machine or data can advise driver how to prevent risk. Insurance was a business that we pay claim after something bad happens. But now, insurance is a business to prevent risk. This is a huge change of our business. And now we have an opportunity to seize this, business transformation thanks to data. And for example, parametric insurance is one good example. Now, because of climate change, as we have discussed this morning, it's a huge flood occurs anywhere in the world. If we assess individual house, it's a huge cost and endeavor. But now parametric insurance, meaning that assess the level of the water without assessing individual house, immediately pay out. Parametric insurance. And because of the data availability and capacity to analyze, we can do that. This is a huge change of the insurance product. And crop insurance we discussed too. It's also parametric insurance. Just watch the change of the color of crop. And if it is not valid, we can pay out. So this technical change enabled to create this type of product. Of course, as a regulator, I would like to stress very much few issues related to regulation, but in a very much positive way, hopefully. So left side first, impediments, or to address the impediments of regular technology issues. Pricing and underwriting. As I said, if it is cost efficient, control strictly pricing is a detriment to the innovation of the product. So we have to be mindful of the regulatory approach. Ancillary service. Insurance company, many of you, life insurance company, now expand their business area to health. Health prevention, health advice, promotion to the better, welfare, and so on. But if OJECA prevent you to do this business, it's a huge, constraint. Or any regulator, if they limit the business opportunities, it's a huge constraint. So this ancillary business scope is a very important issue to consider. Outsourcing. Now, I know that many of your company outsource many things, not only IT, but risk assessment, data processing, and so on. Again, if regulators strictly restrict outsourcing, opportunity to enhance business through this outsourcing, and also this, using these digital technologies, or evolution is restricted. Parametric coverage. It's so effective, but also some regulators do not allow parametric insurance. Because insurance is something that happens, and then economic loss occurred, pay out the claim. But parametric is automatically pay out, But because of the data, because of the accuracy of data, it's quasi the same of the claim amount and payout. But some regulators do not accept this parametric insurance as an insurance product. So those could be or can be a very important, how do you say, create regulatory constraint. We discussed this morning, regulators should encourage, but also naturally as a regulator have to protect the market. But balance is critically important. Discrimination of data. Because of quality, amount of the data can be processed so easily, quickly, and insurance pricing is naturally differentiation of the risk category. But if categorize risk with any reasons could create some discrimination, for example, race, or for example, some specific regions, and so on. So there is a danger that this data processing could create some discriminatory bias. Privacy naturally is an essential issue for everybody, and because of this amount of the data, privacy issue is a very sensitive, and we have to respect ownership, and the company have to ensure this ownership of privacy of the data. Financial exclusion. Now, because of accuracy of assessment of individual data, to some extent, it's against the insurance. Against insurance is a pooling the similar or same risk and collect amount of the premium and pay out unfortunate person. So this is a system, but now we could assess individual risk so precisely. This is contrary to the pooling, and some people's price would be much, much higher than the others. So it could occur exclusion. So this is a risk of the consumers. And insurance, naturally, compliance. Because of those issues, for example, data issue, have to observe privacy, protection of the data. Compliance is critically important. So if they breach this compliance, there is a risk for the insurers. Model error means that if by any reason modeling make a mistake, this is a huge impact on the insurance company, because it's not a single issue, but more systemic issue for the company. And cybersecurity and so on, because data is so important, critical, or essential for the business. So something bad happens for the cyber attack, the business is very much in danger. So in short, there's a huge opportunity, but also we have to be mindful of those risks. And also I stress that the regulators' judgment and attitude is very, very important to promote this digital transformation. So let's focus a little bit more to health and well-being. As I said, life insurance is a formally breadwinners. If that person passed away, family will receive benefit of insurance, and they save and just continue their life. This is a typical life insurance product in the past. But what happened, we live longer. Our life expectancy is longer and longer. 10 years, 20 years live longer than previous generations. That means not only payout for future person, our family, but also extremely important to protect our life, protect our health and well-being, mental health, physical health is critical for everybody. Again, transformation of the business, not only payout for the future, but we should pay attention to individual health and well-being. By the way, well-being means that our mental health, and I know some of the companies pay now not only physical health issue, but mental health issue too. So again, thanks to technological development, we know that chronological disease can be prevented by our attitude. Chronological disease can be prevented, for example, our diet, what we eat, our sleeping habit. non-smoking, and so on. Physical exercise, reasonable exercise, will prevent drastically our chronological disease. But also we know that it's not easy to change our habit. I like drinking, but it's better not to drink too much, but it's not so easy to change the habit. But thanks to this technological innovation, there is a proof that we can change our attitude and we can live healthier and also good mental health. So in short, now our industry, insurance industry, and also health and life insurance industry has changed, moving towards how do we prevent and how we can be helpful to address the chronological disease or our physical problem. And there are a few issues in the end. Just we have to be mindful to advance this issue. Again, privacy. Data is critically sensitive. Particularly health data, mental health data is critically sensitive. So we have to deal carefully with this issue. And also one thing that we should be mindful is promote health is fine, but naturally we are moving toward not only promote health, but also treat health, treat problem, treat diseases, and give a diagnosis to the patient. Naturally, our industry moved towards that direction. And we have to be mindful that other regulators, that health and so on, step in. So we have to be mindful of this point. And naturally, as I said, insurance regulators should not be a barrier, but of course, to control the market in a very productive way is very important. In short, what I said is now, thanks to the technological development, availability, quality, and also capacity to analyze the data and interaction with customers is a huge, huge improvement. And there is a huge opportunity to reduce the cost and to have access to the people. And also, our industry is not only payout after something bad happens, but our industry definitely have to help people to be healthier and also to prevent bad things happen. So not only ex post, after something bad happens, but ex ante, before something bad happens, we have a huge responsibility and opportunity thanks to the digital transformation. And again, I will come back to the Asia. Our market is a future. Indonesia is a future of insurance. So definitely, I would like to hope, I really hope, that you, Indonesian, and some other Asian colleagues will take an initiative to make this digital transformation happen and make our industry stronger. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Yoshihiro Kawai. Please take one of the panelists' seat to join next session.